sometimes you just feel like exploding, right? You know what it feels like. You're like a pressure cooker that gets hotter and hotter and hotter, and the lid can't hold it inside anymore, and you just explode out. For some of us, that just happens in life. And it's really common, actually. We see it everywhere. We see it in ourselves, we see it in our families, we see it in our friends, we see it in people and we walk past sometimes. For whatever reason, we as people get heated up. Words or expression, or expectations on us perhaps, or things we'd love to do that we can't do, particularly at the moment in lockdown. Perhaps we feel guilt that we should be doing something, but we've been told to stay at home, and it just gets to you. That there are like all sorts of reasons on there, all sorts of reasons, some good, some bad. There's all sorts of stuff going on inside, some good, some bad. It's complex, but one thing's for sure, is stuff gets to us, and sometimes it gets too much, and we can just explode. I can't take this. I've had enough. Well, I'd love to share with you just briefly, really briefly, what God has to say or might have to say about that. Where is he in the midst of all this, in the lockdown when we just explode and we're finding things so tough? Now, you could be someone watching this who follows Jesus, or you could be someone who doesn't. Both of you are completely entitled to ask the question, where is God in my stress? What is there or how can he help me right now? Well, I think I'd love to say he's nearer than you think. He's a lot nearer, and he's a lot bigger. And I find those two things, nearness and bigness, the nearness of God and the bigness of God, together a really great help. It's what the Bible says about God. It says he draws near to those who draw near to him. Draw near to God, he'll draw near to you. And it says about Jesus, who is God, that when he was on the earth, in the midst of turbulent seas floating up and down, where he was on a boat that looked like it was going to sink, all he did was speak a word, and he calmed the seas with his voice. See, that God says, you draw near to me, I'll draw near to you. And he says even more, he says, and I'll come and live in you. I suppose we could talk about in terms of what's going on deep down when we explode, like what we're really thinking, what issues we might have. And that's probably the right thing to do at various points in our lives. But when we talk about it, we want to be having that conversation, I think, with the one who can make the most difference and who has real power to change you on the inside out, who can shed real light on your struggles and give you real strength to grow and change through them. And that's what God can do. You know, you might be that as you try to call out to God and draw near to him, you maybe read some of his words in the Bible. That's how I became a Christian. I just read the Bible, and things started to fall into place and really helped me in difficult times. You might find as you do that, you might find him giving you peace, and you can't explain it, but that's because he's big enough that he can help you. You might find that you find out, you call out to him and draw near to him, you might find him giving you patience. It might be that he points out some things that you need to change, and as you humbly do that, things start to get slightly better. It might be that none of these things happen. He just gives you strength to keep going. The point is, if you cry out to him in your explosive times when things are so hard, and you say, draw near to me, God, he will come. If you've never done that before, because you've never thought about following Jesus, it's easy to do. You just ask him to come into your life. You might need to say sorry for rejecting him and ignoring him, but he promises to come in, promises to help you understand him, and promises to reshape your life, actually. Or if you already have, you know, like I have, you might just need reminding again that he promises to come near to you even when it's hard. He's not further away necessarily. He draws near to anyone who draws near to him. See, God is big enough and he is close enough. If you feel the bubbles rise, don't think God doesn't care. Be encouraged, he does. And he wants to help. In the midst of lockdown, where we get stressed at bursting, call out on God and he'll draw near to you.